Good afternoon dear students, and today's we are going to discuss multimedia hardware. So, it is a very important topic for today's industry. Multimedia hardware. Before we starting multimedia hardware, first of all we know about multimedia. Multimedia, the use of computers to present text, graphics, video, animation and sound in an integrated way, long touched as the in future revolution in computing. Multimedia applications were until the middle of 90s uncommon due to expensive hardware required. With the increase in performance of decrease in the prices. However, the multimedia is now commonplaces. Actually, when the multimedia started in the early 90s, you have to see the hardware is a very costly. The hardware is very costly, but the nowadays the price is very decreases. So, performance is increased. In 90s the performance is decreases and prices increases. So, that is why it is a revolution in the multimedia industry. Multimedia in the field of the multimedia, nearly all the PCs are capable of displaying videos, though the resolution available depend upon the power of computers and video adapter of the CPU. Basically, whenever you have to we discuss about the multimedia, so you know about the capability of your computers. What type of your computers, what type of capacity of your computer. So, according to that capacity, your multimedia will be affect, or you can generate the application according to that of the configuration of your system. So, basically multimedia hardware are divided into following ways. First one is the digital media devices. Second, analog media devices. Third, general purpose devices. Fourth, synchronization devices. Fifth, interaction devices, and fifth, multimedia platform. Basically, whenever you have to when I have to describe the multimedia hardware, these are the things which multimedia hardware should be divided. So, digital media devices, analog media devices, general purpose devices or synchronization devices, interaction devices or multimedia platform. These are the basic requirement for multimedia hardware. Now, we have to discuss now one by one. First of all, digital media devices. In the digital media is a form of electronic media where data are stored in digital as opposite to analog form. It can refer to the technical aspect of storage and transmission, that is hard disk drive or computer network of information or the end of product such as a digital video, among it reality, digital signia, digital audio, digital art. So, in digital media devices, basically you have to electronic media where the data is stored in digital. So, all the data stored in the digital form, but the opposite side, whenever you see, whenever you have to be doing anything on the computer, you see all the data stored in the system, that is a digital, but when you have to be reproduced on the system, that is analog. So, you have to be see all the things, not a 0 1, जिस तरह के you know the digital is 0 1 district, but in the analog all the information changes with respect to time. And second one is the analog media devices. In analog media devices is usually a combination of both analog machine and analog media that can together measure, record or reproduce continuous information. For example, the almost infinite number of grades of transparency, voltage, resistance, rotation or pressure in the theory of continuous information. Also analog signal has an infinite number of possible values, with the only limitation of resolution being the accuracy of analog devices. So, basically analog devices is nothing but it is find out the resolution or accuracy of your data, your hardware. If your accuracy of your analog system is resolution is high, then your analog system is working effectively or efficiently. So, analog media devices basically the source of जो source ने that are microphones, video cameras, video tape player, audio tape player, video overlay or sinks are speakers, video display, video tape recorder, audio tape recorder or filters, analog video effects, audio mixer, video scan converter. So, in the basically you see कि ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਦੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਹਾਰਡਵੇਅਰ ਐਨਾਲੌਗ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਹਾਰਡਵੇਅਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੈਜ਼ੋਲੂਸ਼ਨ ਇਨਕਰੀਜ਼ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਐਕੂਰੇਸੀ ਆਏਗੀ। ਐਕੂਰੇਸੀ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਆਏਗੀ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਨਪੁਟ ਆ ਮਾਈਕਰੋਫੋਨਸ ਨੇ, ਆਊਟਪੁੱਟ ਸਪੀਕਰ ਹੋ ਗਏ, ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੀ ਐਕੂਰੇਸੀ ਲਈ ਯੂ ਹੈਵ ਟੂ ਬੀ ਸਮ ਫਿਲਟਰਸ, you have to apply some filter, the noises and other dislimitation should be eliminated, and you can be see all, you can be listen all the specific volume, specific speed, specific pitch of that signal. So analog media is a very important aspect of your multimedia hardware. Whenever you see in the any application of, for example, you have to be coverage for a TV industry, you see when anyone coverage, any news coverage from other side, from the source, from the station, broadcasting station, you see ke sometime your voice is changes or distorted voice you have to receive. So, this is the thing, the filter analog system is not practically fitted for that particular, not working properly, or yet not the configuration of your hardware is not a proper analog devices. So, that is why you have to be listen not proper voice of the announcer. So, that is why you have to be see. So, analog media devices also important role in the multimedia industry. So, next one is the general purpose devices. So, general purpose devices, they are basics of your multimedia system. Their general purpose devices are CD-ROM, magnetic disc and oscilloscope. So, all three terms are familiar with you. CD-ROM, all the compact disk of read only memory, magnetic disk, all the floppies, all the disks, there are magnetic disks, oscilloscope. These are little bit I think know if the electronic students, or sometimes you say ke in medical industry you have oscilloscope, all the output of the patients on the based of the oscilloscope, or any electronic industry they are based on the oscilloscope, working on the oscilloscope. We can explain one by one. Basically general purpose devices are important aspect of the multimedia hardware. First of all, CD-ROM. A CD-ROM is pronunciation as CD-ROM, is the SICDI ROM is the pre-parsed compact disk which is contain data. The name is CONUM, which stand for the compact disk read only memory. The computer can read CD-ROMs, but cannot be write on them. So, basically in CD-ROM you can just read the data from the memory, you can't write anything on that particular memory. Whatever you have to be see on that CD, that you can be read, not anything write on that CD. So, whatever you have to be written on once, and then you can be see that things. So, CD-ROM is popularly used to distributed computer software including video games and multimedia application. Basically in the multimedia hardware, all the distributed system, when you have to talking about the networking computer field, so you have to be apply the CD-ROMs. So, distributed system, all the users can be access the information which is on stored in the CD-ROM can be accessed by different user. So, it means all the user can access the information whatever stored in that particular CD, and nobody can be write on the that particular CD, or student or user cannot be interrupted of our interrupted the system, because all the data is distributed on the system. Or other is, for example, other is the video games. Whenever you see, you have to be see the video game CDs. So, you can be buy any CD, you can play that CD, you can't write that CD. So, that is the best example of the CD-ROM. So, you can't write on that CD, you can play that CDs. And other multimedia applications, so many pixels on the CD-ROM, so many other softwares, so many playing softwares. So, different type of application of the CD-ROMs. Through any data can be stored up to the capacity of the limit of disks, and the main thing of the limit of your, or so you can say the capacity of your disk. ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ 10 ਪਿਕਚਰਸ ਇਕੱਠੀਆਂ ਇੱਕ CD ਤੇ ਲੋਡ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ. ਸੋ ਇਟ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਅਪਨ ਦਾ CD's capacity. Some CDs are called enhanced CD. So, this is important. All CDs cannot be enhanced. Enhanced means you can increase the capacity of your CD. You can increase the capacity. So, please note students, the increase the capacity of CDs. So, some CDs has a capability or property have, you can enhance the storage property of the CDs. Hold both computer data and audio, with the latter capable being played on the CD player, while data such as a software or digital video is only usable on the computer. Hold both computer data and audio with the better capable being played on the CD player, while data such as a software or digital video is only usable on a computer, and such as a ISO 9660 format PC CD-ROMs, the Zello. So, one is a ISO's Inter-Standard Organization that gives a 966 model, which you have to be generate a Zello book. This is the technical standard. In this Zello book you have a technical standards, or you can say format of different CDs, different capacity of storing devices capacity in the Zello book. So, this is the new thing for you. In the Zello book you have to be see the technical standards or CD-ROMs format. One of the set of color bound books that contain the technically specification for all CD formats, the Zello book created by Sony or Philips in 1988. So, these are basically the format of CD-ROMs generated by the Sony organization or Philips organization in 1988, was the first extension of compact disc or digital audio. It adapts the format to hold any form of data. So, when the Zello book is generated, or you can say ISOs are designed for 9660 for CD-ROMs, you can see the format of the different type of format whatever the used in the CD-ROMs, that is in the Zello book. So, according to that you have to be use the CDs according to the capacity. Sometime you need a more capacity, sometime you need a small capacity. So, according to requirement of you can buy the different CD-ROMs in the market. So, Zello book has generated basically all type of format of your CD-ROMs, CDs in the Zello book. So, that is generated by the 1988 by the Sony or Philips. So, mostly this type of question asked in the question what is a Jello book? This is a basic question. So, it is generated by the Jello book is basically the format of CD-ROMs. It is generated by the company or organization Sony or Philips in 1988. Next one is the magnetic disk. So, magnetic disk, magnetic storage and magnetic recordings are term of form engineering referring to the storage of data on magnetized medium. All the data of magnetized medium, magnetic storage use different pattern of the magnetization in a magnetizable material to store data in the form of non-volatile memory. The information accessed using one or more read-write heads as a 2013 magnetic storage or primarily hard disk. So, basically magnetic disk or magnetic recording system, before the CD-ROM all the data should be stored in the magnetic disk. So, magnetic disk is a magnetic medium. So, when you have to be store the data on that on the magnetic tape, it became the magnetized. So, all the data is form of the magnetized on the tape. So, audio you can be different type of cassettes before that, before the hard disk developing, it is a cassette, that is also a best example of the magnetic disk, or you can say floppy drive, that is the also best example of a magnetic disk. Or primarily hard disks are widely used to store the computer data as well as an audio or video signals. Now, even ke magnetic disk we are not using the different type of data in the magnetic disk, widely you are using the hard disk for preferring the audio and video signals. In the field of computing, the term magnetic storage is preferred, and in the field of audio and video productions, magnetic storage preferred in the field of audio and video production, the term magnetic recording is more commonly used. The distinction is less technical and more matter of preference. Other example of magnetic storage media include floppy disk, magnetic recording tape, magnetic strips, or some credit cards. So, these are the basically magnetic disks. So, the best examples of for the magnetic disks is floppy disk, all the audio tapes, magnetic strips. Today you are using the all credit cards, debit cards, they are also the magnetic strips on the different type of cards. Next one is the oscilloscope. The oscilloscope, previously called a oscillograph and informally known as a scope or CRO, it is called a cathode ray oscilloscope. So, basically we can also say DSO for the more modern digital storage oscilloscope. Nowadays, the oscilloscope has a digital oscilloscope. Basically, oscilloscope can be see the some information, some application are used to see the data or see the information. But now DSO, the digital oscilloscope or modern digital oscilloscope, they can be stored all the information whatever you are seeing, whatever you are catching from the input side. For example, in the medical industry, so many BP set, heartbeat and all the instrument for patient in the hospital industry, you can see the all the instrument they are analogical or some type of waves shapes print out and take out from outside from the patient, they are seen in the oscilloscope. So, DSO, these output should be stored. Sometimes you have to visualize these things, sometimes you need to record of the comparing patient from past record to present record. So, that is why this is very advanced or good application for the multimedia hardware. So, in the type of electronic test instruments, all the electronics tests that allow observation of constantly varying the signal voltage, usually as two-dimensional graph of one or more electrical potential different using the vertical बेसिकली असी 2 डिमेंशनल चीज़ों ਲਈ आइसोस्कोप चूज़ करते हैं, ਜਾਂ कोई इलैक्ट्रिकल पोटेंशियल डिफरेंसिस असी काउंट करते हैं, ਜਾਂ वर्टिकल एक्सिस प्लॉटेड फंक्शन ऑफ टाइम or horizontal or axis. Many signal can be converted to voltage and display this way. The signals are often periodic, repeat constantly, so that multiple samples of a signal which is actually varying with the time or displayed as steady of picture. Many storage oscilloscope can also capture non-repeating waveform for specified time and show steady display and capture segments. So, basically in the oscilloscope you will be, or you can say DSO, modern digital storage oscilloscope, have generated different type of signals or some electrical signal voltage. If you have a hospital industry, you can be store the information of the patient and stored in the oscilloscope. So, presently you have to be compare present position of the patient to the past of position of the patient that should be, that was recorded from the patient. So, this is very important aspect of the oscilloscope or DSO, modern digital oscilloscope, for the multimedia industry. And other devices which are basically linked with the computers or interaction devices, you can say it is interaction devices. Computer has so many devices with interact, they are not mandatory. So, it is not mandatory, but you can be used. For example, following are devices. One is the keyboard, mouse and joysticks, electronics pen, 3D tracker, gloves, helmets and eye tracker. These are the main things, and other devices also you can be see flash drive, USB, buses, different type of cards, different type of card readers, different type of memory chips can be interact with the computers. So many not it is only 6 devices I have to put on the record, but we have a lot of 20-25 printers, plotters, scanners, all are interaction devices with the computers. Now, we have to go for one by one. So, this is a keyboard, everybody know, you are computer field students, so you know this is a keyboard. So, we have a different type of keys, some special purpose, some numeric keys. So, the function of keys you know already. So, these are important aspect for the multimedia hardware. Whenever you have to be generated any type of thing, so through you have to be given the input from the keyboard. In computing, the keyboard is a typewriter style devices which is use an arrangement of the buttons or keys to act as a mechanical levers or electronic switches. So, basically ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਕੀਬੋਰਡ ਦੀ, it is working as a lever between the electronic switches ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ, ਜਦੋਂ on off ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਕਨੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ switches on, ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਲਾਈਟ on ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਇੱਕ switch on ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, off ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, on ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕਨੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਬਿਲਡ ਅਪ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਤਾਂ ਲਾਈਟ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਬਣ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਜੇ off ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਨੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਆ ਉਹ ਡਿਸਕਨੈਕਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਤਾਂ ਲਾਈਟ ਬੰਦ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ. ਸੋ ਸੇਮ ਲਾਈਕ ਇਨ ਕੀਬੋਰਡ, the levers, when you press the key, lever is pressed and the electronic circuit complete. So, it signal generated from that particular key. So, continuously when you have to press different type of keys, the signal is generated according to press the button. Following decline of punch card or paper tape interaction via teleprinter style, keyboard became the main input device for computers. A keyboard typically has character engraved or printed on the keys, and each press of the key typically corresponding to a single written symbol. So, ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ particular key press ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ single symbol ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹੀ ਉਹ specific signal ਹੀ generate ਕਰੇਗਾ, ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੋਰ key press ਕਰਤੀ ਤਾਂ ਹੋਰ signal ਜਾਏਗਾ. However, to produce some symbols requires pressing and holding several keys simultaneously or in sequence, while most keyboard or keys produce letters, numbers and sign characters, or other keys are simultaneously key press can be produce action or execute computer command. While whenever you have to key produce the letters produce कर दिया ने A तो लेकर Z तक और नंबर 0 तो लेके सी 1 9 तक और some special characters hash at the alpha at the rate dollar sign, these are the special character, or some special window keys, them say backspace, tab, caps lock. So, these are the basically buttons on the keyboard. So, we can also go in much, if you want to more depth and key, the different type of functions, different type of operations in the keyboard now as keyless. Now, we have directly keys connected, some are we have to cordless keys keyboards now in the market. So, we have a different type of application in the multimedia and multimedia hardwares. Next one, the mouse and joysticks. So, mouse and joysticks is also input device for the computers. When you have to be given any signal from the input, so mouse is the input signal in given the input commands from the mouse, or joysticks. So, joysticks is mostly used for the different type of games for the children, games for computer games. You have to be using the different type of joysticks. This is the mouse or this is a joystick. So, it is a mirroring guide. So, it you can be hold it from top and move left, right, top, bottom. Whatever the position you can be play according to some, if you have to play any game on the computer. So, you have to be move left side, right side, top side or back side. So, this is way you have to be using the input signal to the your computer. So, this is very important aspect of multimedia industry. By the joysticks, the so many games based on the joystick input devices. So, other interaction device is a electronic pen. Electronic pen or digital pen is an input device which capture the handwriting or brush stroke of uses the convert handwritten analog information created using the pen and paper into digital data, enabling the data to be utilized in various applications. For example, the writing data can be digitized and uploaded to computer and display on the monitor. You see most of time if when you listen the lecture in the EduSet, so many people are using here electronic pen. They are just putting the electronic pen, all the information whatever write on the, this is a special type of board and special type of pen. I will see you pen, this is a special type of pen. This pen has a pen tip, next is a rubber grip, next one the rocker switch, other is a battery of cap. So, this is the thing which is the actually using for writing the electronic pen. So, it is whenever you see in the EduSat lecture, the most people used in the electronic pen to transferring the information to the, or other example when you see is the electronic pen application in the new channels, different type of new channel are using electronic pen. They are just writing the information special type of board and that is stored and transferring to the your side via the electronic pen. The data can be interpreted by handwritten or software OSR used to different application or just as a graphics. Digital pen or a digital pen is generally large and has a more feature than a stylus. Digital pen typically contain a internal electronics and have a feature such as a tough sensitive input buttons, memories, writing data, transmission capability and electronic eraser. So, these are different type of application of the digital or electronic pen or digital pen. The button ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ input button ਲਿਖਿਆ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਉਹਦੀ ਆਪਣੀ memory ਵੀ ਹੋਏਗੀ, whatever you write that should be stored in that memory. Writing or all the transmission should be done from the pen to all. You have a also capability, whatever you have to be written and you can be erased by the electronic pen.